Welcome to Daily Truths with Dave Ahlman.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Daily Truths. The passage we want to focus on today is the same passage we looked at yesterday, but we're looking at it from a different perspective. It's Matthew chapter 5, verse 9, and it says this: "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called sons of God." I love that. Now, yesterday we said that Jesus was the peacemaker because he is and forever will be the Son of God. And so he did whatever he needed to do to bring peace between us and God. Now we're talking about that peacemaker statement in our relationship with other people and in being a kind of a mediator and a peacemaker between those parties that are estranged. If you're a child of God, if you're a son or daughter of the King, it means as a natural result of that, you are a peacemaker. And so what does it mean to be a peacemaker? How does that look in everyday life? Number one, you try to see the other person's point of view. You try to see where they're coming from, and you put yourself in their shoes and try to look at things from their perspective, right? You try to see their point of view. And you can say, if you're trying to coach people who are estranged, you try to encourage them to try to put themselves in the other person's shoes, see what they're seeing, and try to see things from their perspective. Secondly, it means that you're looking always for a compromise in that relationship. If there are two people that are estranged, or if you're estranged from somebody else, you try to find middle ground. Where is it regarding this issue that we can find middle ground, that we can compromise our both perspectives and meet each other in the middle? Thirdly, you always are looking to take ownership for how you've contributed to the problem. There are three very difficult words to say for people: I was wrong. And the five most difficult words for people to say are these: I'm sorry. Please forgive me. So if you're in a situation where you know you've done some things or said some things that were offensive to that other person, you say, hey, I was wrong. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. How difficult is it for us to say that? But because pride and arrogance oftentimes gets in the way of folks, and that's what Satan wants. He hates it when people take ownership and responsibility for what they've done wrong. And so you coach people, if you're being a mediator with other folks, you coach those folks to look for taking ownership of how they've contributed to the problem and saying those 3 and 5 most difficult words to say. And finally, there may come a time in a person's disagreement, in your disagreement with somebody else or somebody that you're trying to coach regarding their disagreements, there may come a time where you just have to say, you know what, we're going to agree to disagree. We're not going to be able to see eye to eye in this, but I love this statement. Just because we don't see eye to eye doesn't mean that we can't walk arm in arm. And so, especially in a relationship with a brother or sister in Christ, you may have to say, we're going to have to agree to disagree and just continue to live at peace with one another. Now, there's a passage in the Bible, in Romans chapter 12, that says, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Now, you might be saying, well, Pastor Dave, I've tried that. And, you know, there's some people that I've really tried to be reconciled to and tried to be at peace with, and they just continue to harbor a grudge and be angry at me and won't talk to me and whatnot. Now, listen to what it says in Romans chapter 12 again. As far as it depends on you, you know, you do as much as you can. You try to reconcile as much as you can, but eventually you have to leave them into the hands of God and say, look, if they're not going to talk to me, if they're not going to want to be reconciled, all I can do is pray for them, love them, accept them, forgive them, and when we're together, be nice to them. And hopefully, Lord, you can work it out whereby somewhere down the road, we can live at peace with one another. So that's the common sense approach to this beautiful passage that God gives us in the Sermon on the Mount. Here it is again: blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. May you be a peacemaker in your life. And if you're encouraging other people to be at peace, may God use you mightily to use those 4 different things that we've talked about today to bring peace in their relationship. And that is today's Daily Truth. Have a great day in Christ.
Thank you for tuning in to Daily Truths with Dave Ahlman. If this ministry is blessing you, please consider supporting us by sharing this channel with a friend. You can also like, comment, subscribe, or leave a review. This helps us tremendously. Come back tomorrow for your next Daily Truth.